Okay, so I'm Grasswalker. Hello, welcome to the Ikoria draft. I pulled the deck together. I think this is the build that I'm going to go with. If you have any disagreements or suggestions, put them in the comments. But by the time that you're watching this, it'll be too late for me to make any changes. But I'm always interested to improve and make better decisions in the future. I ended up cutting one of the divine arrows, so we have 3. Opening hand, we have double black, colorless, and a crystal that offers us white. So we're missing red, and to an extent we're missing white. But we're not really missing white. So I think this hand's fine, because we go land, 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 crystal, and we can go like Day Squad Marshal, assuming we don't draw anything that improves this hand. It's got a couple of cyclers as well. We could cycle the crystal. If we do find white, we could cycle the rescuer. I think we'll want to cycle the rescuer if we don't draw planes. Well, we drew the planes, so we will play the rescuer. And we'll begin pressuring. I think now we hit him. 3 damage. I would rather have the crystal in play than cycled, I think. We cap out at 6 mana. We pretty much cap out at 5-6. We already have 4, so ramping up to 5. Maybe cycling and getting a 1-1 is the correct play here. Do we need double white for anything? We need double white for the Mythos, and we need double white for the Cub Warden. So I think we'll play it. I think you can't go too wrong with ramping. I would rather ramp than cycle and get a 1-1. A 1-1 would have been useless with the 1-4 on the board. So we can either remove his Dolphin or play a 4-4. Remove his Dolphin for 3, I think playing the Marshal now, it's on a 4-4, it's like a 3-3 and a 1-1, which is worse than a 4-4. But I think getting the board stacked and then removing something and hitting makes more sense. Rather than removing something and he just plays something else, we got 3 damage on the board. Alright, we're stacked on land. Maybe cycling the crystal would have been right, because we're at the 6. Anything after this is just unneeded. We will attempt to remove his Dolphin and then hit him for about over half his life. Just under, actually. Alright, you get the Dolphin safe, which hurts us quite a bit. So we'll play a Boot Nipper. We will Death Touch Lifelink, Death Touch Flyer. I think Lifelink is better for what our plan for it is, which is to put Volcabeat on top of it. We can threaten him. Make him make a decision to put damage on the Dolphin. Fair play, he blocked. There's a chance that we scare him. Oh, he's playing red, but he's getting color screwed. Unfortunate. 5 islands in a 2-color deck. Possibly 3 colors, who knows. Alright, we should have cycled the crystal, because now we are plastered with things. I don't think we have any draw discard effects, so we'll just put that down. We could pretend to have something, but I don't think there's any benefit to doing that. Gonna get ourselves a 3-4 with lifelink. Borderline haste as well. He's thinking whether or not he wants to counter that. Maybe Death Touch would have been correct, because if he does counter the Volcabeat, then we can keep hitting him for 2. Whereas Lifelink, he's not pressuring me, so there's no need to get further and further above 20. So I think I made a mistake there. Death Touch would have been correct. We're not going to swing on the Marshal this time, he might have a Shark. That might have been what he was thinking about. Although he would have played it if he had the 5 mana 5/4 shark. He might have the flash bounce a creature shark. Man, that dolphin has provided a wall for our aggressive maneuvers. Ah, he did have a shark, but he had the bounce shark. I think I'm okay with that. Means I can pick the correct mode on the boot nipper. You put it underneath. Why would you? I guess because it has 3 toughness. So he's somewhat revealing that he doesn't have more combat tricks or removal or mutate creatures. Oh, he just used his whole turn to do that. Okay, well our 3/1 can't get through him, so we can cycle it. Divine Arrow is good. That's a good draw. I think we'll cycle that Triome when we get around to it. Doesn't provide us anything we need. We'll bootnip the Death Touch this time. If he blocks, he's got a Divine Arrow coming his way. Whether he has a trick to counter that is up to him. He doesn't. So now we're in a good position. And we can actually just put this back where it was. And we're back to having a 3/4 flyer. I will not play the Triumph. I plan to cycle it. We don't need more than 6, and we're missing red anyway. So this just provides us more of what we already have, which is black and white. Oh, the Lava Serpent would be so good if we had the red. Especially with the Bonder's Enclave. So he doesn't have the spells to give that double strike. Not right now, anyway. I think it's a safe bet to cycle the Lava Serpent. Maybe cycle the Triome and see if we get red. And then cycle the Lava Serpent. Cycle the Triome first. Because we definitely don't want that. We might want the Lava Serpent. Gonna want to put some stops. If he has a spell here, and him double striking to eat the Day Squad Marshal would hurt. Instead, we just get a nice trade. I think we'll hold on to the Lava Serpent. We can cycle it in his turn, and we can just keep waiting to see if we draw a mountain. Ooh, another Spell Eater Wolverine without enough spells. Unfortunate. That is the risk of that card, though. That it just simply doesn't have the tools it needs to have the double strike. Even worse for him is now I can start eating his stuff. So if he does play a spell, we can eat one of his spells. So we can choose between delaying the double strike, which I think we'll do. Because he's played a spell, and one has left his graveyard, so now he's back to 2. Glimmerwell doesn't affect us too much. Hemiphage. That would give it a 1/1 counter, and he would lose some life. We would also be able to give it an extra power. This represents lethal. Gives it 1 power, gets a 1/1 counter, and he loses 2 life, and I gain 2 life. He's going to have to block with the Glimmerbell. And we can just take a chill pill and draw a card off of Bonder's Enclave, which is the whole reason we picked it up. You get a big thing, and you just sit back, and you get value off of the big thing you already have, and until he answers it, we can just sit there drawing extra cards. We're at 25, so he's not going to burst me. He's on the back foot for sure. Okay. Sacrifice a feather, get the Phoenix back. Okay, so he's going to get at least 2 turns of blocking out of this. That's not nearly as good as what you'd hope for. Give me that extra card. Fumes. Interesting. So he is forced to block the Hemiphage if he wants to survive. So we can get a cheeky little pat with that 1/1. We'll play a land. Because we might want to use... We want to cycle 2 cards and draw a card. We still haven't found a red symbol. Maybe that's a cue that we're not playing enough in the deck. I've got 2 mountains in there. So if you have 2 mountains, 40 card deck, you draw 7 to start with. 2 in 40. What is that as a percentage? Okay, he's given up. What is 2 in 40 as a percentage? It's about 5%-ish? Yeah, it's 5%. So you have a 5% chance of drawing it. Your starting hand is like 7 draws, so 7 5%. Then over the course of the game. Maybe we should put 1 more mountain in here. I think I'll swap a mountain for a swamp. Because we do need to eventually get the red sources. We want to see 1 red source during the game, either for Lava Serpent, Mythos of Snapdax, maybe the Labyrinth Raptor if we're feeling cheeky. So 3 at 7.5%, 7 sevens is a lot more chance of seeing it just in the starting hand. We only want to see it at some point in the game. Playing against Value City. Alright, this is a decent hand. We've got a 2-drop, we've got a 4-drop. Can't play the Raptor, but we can cosplay that we might if we top deck a mountain here. We did it. So we will play the Raptor. It is the better of the 2 choices to play first. Because he just can't stop it. It's just going to do damage to him for a while. Now we get the Checkpoint Officer, and we're going to hit him. He can't stop that Labyrinth Raptor for at least a little bit, because he's going to need to block it with creatures. And as soon as he blocks it, he sacks one of those creatures. I'm not going to take that chance. Whatever goofy stuff he's up to, I don't want any part of it. Okay, the Night Squad. I probably should have seen that coming, but I was afeared for a combat trick. So we can mutate on top of this. And a 3/3 Death Touch where he's sacking one of his creatures will definitely not trade with the Labyrinth Raptor. Likewise, if we just attack and hold up the red-black and he double blocks, he sacks the token, this trades, that would then be a 1-for-1, which wouldn't be good enough. Maybe just casting the Marshal. We're not under a pressure to swing with 2/2 right now. I think just outclassing what he did. Like, yeah, you got a 2/3 and a 1/1, I got a 3/3 and a 1/1. What of it? What are you going to do about that? The more of a mess the board looks, the better a Mythos of Snapdax becomes. Because if I top deck like that right now, I mean, I wouldn't play it right now, but I could leave him with a 1/1, and then I keep a 3/3 or a 2/2 menace. Oh. It mutates to destroy an artifact or enchantment. That can be very dangerous for my pacifism, actually. I think putting Death Touch on the menace that can't be blocked, like, properly is going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to do that. I do not see what his resolution of that is. If he blocks it with everything, he sacks 1 card and then the Death Touch taps it 3 times 1 and then everything dies. He's just going to have to take 3 a turn until either he removes it or that's it, really. I don't want to pacify it before it mutates. I want to watch him make something gigantic, pacify it, and hope that he runs out of mutations. Alright, he's just clogging up the board, playing a bunch of decent green-black commons. That's an unfortunate excavation mole. He dropped 3 of the best cards in his deck. But he might have something, because he had a reanimation card. Oh, he's thinking of swinging. Probably should have tapped it before the swing, but this works too. Reach, trample. We'll tap it. I like putting stops on his upkeep to possibly tap the Naturalist, because that knocks a mana off of what he's able to do. I don't think we want to put Cavern Whisperer on top of the Hammerfidge. We don't have another good option. It's going to grow it, but it's going to risk it, because now we've got a lot of stuff on one card. So just a kill spell will cause me some trouble. We're going to get a bit of value out of it though. He's going to take 2 damage, he's going to discard a card. But we have got 3 cards under here. So if he uses a removal spell to kill it, it's more of like almost 2 for 1. Because we played it, we got the discard. We've got 3 damage and a bit of life gain. Oh wow, he's going to go for it. So he has to sack one of these, and then the rest die. I guess he got okay value out of that. Just have to do 1 damage to each of them. I'm happy with that. I would prefer that to him just playing a kill spell. Now I want to tap down his mana to just... Unless he has something instant speed in his hand before he draws for the turn, he's now 1 below what he thought he would have for the turn. Now he's back to what he was. But instead of 7, he had just that much. Lava Serpent's quite nice here. It's going to open up the board for us. So now he's praying about a combat trick. He's thinking about it. Okay, he's probably got a combat trick if he's taken that block. Cycle, put that touch. Okay, so like a 1 for 1-ish. That's fine. Now his biggest thing's gone. So if he has anything, yeah, I mean, that's perfect. The guy that mutates to kill artifacts enchantments is gone. All he's done is played 1 big thing. So now we can just turn the big thing off. We could also turn the Naturalist off if we wanted to. That gives us an extra damage. Now he's got 2 turns to find an answer before he dies. And if he does find an answer, we have a hard reset of the board. And we'll probably leave him with a pacified 7/7. Alright, now we have the option to clear out the Naturalist with the Deadeye. Game's paused, not sure why. Maybe he's got a Cycler. Maybe he has an instant, but we're going to chance it. We probably shouldn't have sung with the Checkpoint Officer, because it would allow us to tap a creature with Flash. Oh wow, he's just blocking the Marshal. Alright, combat trick. So 2 damage on him, followed by a dead Naturalist. And now he has to top deck an answer or die. I've got 6 damage on the board, he got a swamp. and that's that. Alright, so off to a good start with a draft that I didn't think was that good. All the drafts I have that I think go excellent just end up falling apart, and the stuff where it's you just end up with 40 white cards and a first pack of 50 white cards that are just like okay-ish maybe, and you cut most of them anyway. Seems to be working out in the first couple of games, but this third one is where you have to get to, because paying 1,500 to get in, getting 250 out is a one-way trip to having no currency and no longevity to the game. Paying 1,500 to get 1,000 in 5 packs, that's okay, and then anything after that's gravy. So we need 3 chances at least to get this next win. But thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.